What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us here at Chad's Media for another episode of the Tyler Lennon Show. On behalf of Front Porch News and Chad's Media, I'm Tyler Lennon. Before we get started, I want to say a quick thank you to all of our sponsors, Avco Roofing in Sulphur Springs, The Beauty Parlor in Sulphur Springs, Robin Bow Shears Chiropractic with Lone Star Clinic, and Realtor Lindsay Lee with Watson Company in Sulphur Springs. A big thank you to each one of these businesses. We have a very special episode for y'all today. Joining us, we have some Sulphur Springs royalty in the building. We have Coach Tyler Rollison with us. Ty, dude, thanks for joining us, man.
Oh, man, what a pleasure, what a pleasure.
So I mentioned some Sulphur Springs royalty. You're back in Sulphur Springs, and I got to ask, man, is that, I feel like you're someone who's very much beloved in the community. Is that something that you're able to feel?
Oh, yeah, man, all through growing my childhood and through high school, and now that I'm on the other side and coaching, man, it's the love has always been the same from the community, and it's always been warm and welcoming.
Absolutely, man. I want to start with the place where a lot of that came from. Obviously, that 2008 team, the state team, is something that will be remembered forever. Can you kind of walk me through some of that year? Going into the season, what were the expectations like? Did y'all know that y'all had that kind of team?
We've always said, man, from playing flag football together to traveling together in Pop Warner football to 7th grade and 8th grade, and once the class up beneath us, once we figured out how good those guys were, and we kind of told ourselves once we gelled together as those two classes, man, we got a chance. But as far as my senior class, just coming off that year. My junior year, man, when we lost by 3 points in the first round of the playoffs, it kind of left a taste in our mouth. So, I mean, we took it as we should, and came back, and we put the work in all summer long, and from 7-on-7 to summer workouts, and I mean, ended up paying off for us in the big run.
Did you have a moment during that season where it kind of clicked, like, oh no, we are a good enough team to win state, or we can do this? Because I think y'all lost one game that whole year, and it was to Longview, right?
We actually lost two. We played Longview at home, and they ended up beating us. Then we got on the road to travel to T-High, and they ended up putting another one on us. And we kind of just came together as a group and had to put aside the little things that was costing us to get beaten. I feel like once we did that and we all got on the same page, it was now we can only beat ourselves.
Right.
We knew we had the guys in the right place to make the right plays and to put us in the right position to win ball games. So we just had to let the ego go and play ball for one another. And once we started playing team ball, it was lights out from there on out.
I will say y'all had like a crazy amount of super talented people that went, big D1 and everything. And that's something I feel like people really want to know about. What's the recruiting process like? Because obviously you had a list of some pretty big schools. So what was the recruiting process for you like? And was that something your senior year you were having to worry about, kind of keep it in the back of your mind, or?
It was one of those things where, I mean, as a kid, man, you always look forward to it, man, and you kind of have those moments where you kind of get lost in it, and you kind of start feeling yourself a little bit. And I mean, it takes a lot. I'm not gonna say a little. It takes a lot to be able to handle all that pressure, man. But I had a strong support system behind me that had my back and was willing to talk to me about anything and help me through everything. So the whole recruiting process was definitely a fun experience for me. And if I could say so for my other compadres that played on the team, I feel like they would say the same thing too, man. Just to see all the colleges come through Little Sulphur Springs, man, it's one of those definitely a dream come true.
Right. So you end up choosing Auburn. Was that a tough choice, or did you know this is for sure I want to go? And can you kind of walk us what the experience was like? Just, you're out of high school and like, hey, I'm at a huge D1. I'm in the SEC. The coaching staff there had people like Gene Chizik, who wasn't even the head coach yet, or Malzahn, whoever it was. Like, I mean, what was that experience for you like?
Man, it was definitely crazy, man. My recruiters were Looper and Trooper, man. Those guys were definitely a big part of the reason why I chose Auburn, man. Those two guys. They when they came in, they treated me like definitely I was family. And for Coach Chizik to get on a jet and fly to Sulphur Springs, man, and just to see those head coaches come out and interact with kids, man, it's definitely different. It shows that they actually want you as a player and not just to be somebody to fill a spot on their roster. Like, and then, like I said, when I took the visit, man, it felt like home. Like, I mean, being on those planes is nothing like. I know it's people say you go to Tuscaloosa, but I mean, when you touch in Auburn, man, it's just a different feeling.
No, I 1,000% believe that. Real quick, I want to talk about the rest of your college career and some more stuff. But first, we want to hear a quick word from our supporting sponsors who make all this possible. We'll go to them real quick, and then we'll be right back with more from Tyler Rollison.
At Avco Roofing, we strive to fulfill our mission statement of protecting homes, strengthening families, and building community. It's more than a slogan. It's the heartbeat of who we are and how we serve our customers. Located in Sulphur Springs near I-30 and Broadway, there's no project we can't handle. Call Avco Roofing for all your home and commercial property needs.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Lee, realtor at Caldwell Banker Watson Company in Sulphur Springs. Born and raised in Hopkins County, I am the small town realtor you are looking for to help buy or sell your home. I specialize in farm and ranch, residential, and lake properties. Contact me today and let me do the work for you. Get your key with Lindsay Lee.
I am Dr. Robin Boshears-Patrick, located at Lone Star Clinic. I am a Sulphur Springs, Texas native, and I am dedicated to serving the chiropractic needs of my community. Call me today to set up your appointment, and let's get you straightened out.
Hi, I'm Audra Clark, owner and stylist of The Beauty Parlor. We are located at 206 West Shannon Road in Sulphur Springs, Texas. We are Tony and Guy trained, and we specialize in custom cut and color. You're already beautiful. Come let us highlight it.
And we're back. We got Tyler Rollison with us, Ty. So you went to Auburn, and then you end up having this very, very, very unique college experience where you play TJC, Sam Houston State, A&M-Commerce. So you kind of got to experience every single level of football. And, of course, playing some semi-pro stuff as well. How much do you think that has helped you both with your playing career but also coaching, that you have literally seen it from pretty much every single level possible?
It definitely gave me a lot more knowledge. I mean, just to be in all those systems and to be able to see from different kind of unique coaching-wise. Like, Malazan offense was definitely probably the hardest offense I've ever had to learn. Like, when you walk in as a true freshman and you're looking at a playbook that's,
right.
I mean, that's like 600 pages long, and you're just like, man, how am I going to get? But, I mean, he gave me a part of a game, and then I felt like Sam Houston gave me that life back. Like, the feeling when you get when you get in that Bearcat Nation is, like I said, man, it was one of those feelings where I can get used to this. Like, the family they're big on football, and they weren't a winning program at the time, but things started to change around, and like I said, I broke my wrist there and ended up sitting out for like a semester, and then ended up going to TJC. And when I got to TJC, man, I completely fell back in love with the game.
Really?
Like, when I broke my wrist, I was like, all right, it's done for me. I'm just gonna hang the cleats up.
I mean, that's gotta be tough to come back from.
Yeah. So I mean, when I left Sam Houston and went home and I reevaluated and I sat down, I got a phone call from a friend, and he was like, hey man, you want to play some more ball? And I was like, yeah man, I'll give it a run again. I was gonna hang it up, but I'll give it a run again. He was like, well, we got a spot for you down here at Tyler, man, if you want to come. So, man, I talked to the coaches, got me down there, and I go in, and like I said, it's me and another guy, and we're competing for a spot. And we end up splitting time for a little bit my first year there, and then my second year there, man, it was just like I was back in high school all over again.
I was about to say, you were putting up like crazy numbers over there, right?
It was like I was back in high school all over again, man. But I was blessed to have some talented receivers around me out there too, man. We had a guy that went to Mississippi State. We had a guy to go to Wyoming. Like, he had crazy speed. Had a guy to go to Henderson. I linked back up with Ryan Young over at Tyler again. So I mean, it was basically like I was playing at home again. And as far as A&M-Commerce, man, that was definitely a fun thing right there. But going into my first year at A&M-Commerce, I broke my ankle, and I was back in my head again, and I was down on myself and had to dig myself out of that hole. And I mean, once I got back in the groove of things and fell back in love with it again, once again, it was definitely one of those things that, man, I'll never forget it. Being one of the originals to change the program back around over there at A&M-Commerce is definitely something I'll always be proud and honored for.
Oh, I'm sure. I feel like Sulphur Springs, they're very proud of their people, support them very strongly. So I'm sure you felt it even when you were at Auburn, but you come closer and closer to home, Sam Houston, TJC, Commerce. Was that something you were able to feel at that point? Like, I definitely still have the support from Sulphur Springs and everything.
Oh yeah, man. It hit me whenever I really started playing in Tyler, and I used to see, people reaching out to me from back at home, like, man, keep up the good work. I'm seeing the things you're doing over there in Tyler, man. Just stay at it, and things will go right for you. And like I said, when I got to Commerce, it was, like I said, it was just like I was playing at Gerald Prim again. Like, looking in the stands and seeing so many people from Sulphur Springs is just like, I mean, it's no better feeling to just know that Sulphur Springs, the community still has your back, even after all these years.
Right. Dude, speaking of, so I actually got to interview you this summer before you had a full season of coaching, so we'll kind of get to talk more about that, but how did you get to the point you do join the coaching staff here at Sulphur Springs as a running backs coach? Was that something that you knew you wanted to get into, or how did that come about?
I've always said that I wanted to be a coach. I think that started from when I was in elementary school. Like, me just being around sports is just something that I've always wanted to do. So, I mean, that was always something that I was destined, that I had put my mind to and told myself that this is what I was going to be one day. And, I mean, I was blessed by God and Coach Owens and Mr. Lamb and Mr. Josh to get this opportunity to come in and start my journey right here at home. I mean, it's no better feeling.
How would you say that first year went? I mean, like I said, you were the running back coach this past year. Obviously, you were a great quarterback, but was that a role you were like, oh, yeah, for sure we can do running backs, or how did that go?
Oh, yeah, it was definitely I know I joke around with all my friends all the time. I tell them, man, I'm an athlete. I can play any sport I can play any position on the field. But as far as like being a running back, you're basically like a quarterback in the backfield. Like, I mean, you got to see everything on the field when it's happening so fast. Like, and I was blessed to have 3 guys that were absolutely phenomenal at the jobs. Like, I mean, we had a young pup and we had 2 seniors, and it was like, man, you never missed a beat whenever you rotated them in, or you never know who was going in, or who was having a hot hand that night, and it was never no arguing or fighting amongst them inside our little circle that we had. I mean, it was always love and encouragement from each other.
I was about to say, you did have some very talented running backs this year. How would you say your experience, obviously being in Sulphur Springs, especially because the kids now, they've grown up their whole life. They either got to see you or they've heard about you, you know what I mean? So how much do you think that helps with you specifically as a coach? Players either being able to relate to you or kind of looking up to you because, you have coaches, and of course you listen to all your coaches, but knowing, whatever he's telling me, I know he can do this, he's done it as well. How much do you think that helps you?
I mean, just because a lot of kids know what I brought to Sulphur Springs, what me and my teammates brought to Sulphur Springs, it's kind of one of those things where, man, this is a state championship guy that's coaching me, man. And they look at Keenan and be like, man, this is a guy that made it to the NFL that's getting a chance to coach me, man. So a lot of them, they take pride in soaking in the knowledge that we give them, man. And then, you got your guys that are tough to get through, but me as a coach and the other coaches as coaches, that's our job, man, is to try to get through those guys' heads, man, that it's bigger than them, and it's definitely about the team. As
someone who went through the entire recruiting process and anything, or do you think that's something you'll be able to help kids with, having someone that's been through that and has seen it from that lens and everything?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I definitely talk to the kids about college experience and definitely getting into college and submitting applications and the whole college process of being recruited. I tell them all the time that, it's not easy, but it's your choice. Like, you can have as many people in your ear telling you, hey, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this, but if you're not happy with that choice that you made, that's something you got to live with for the rest of your life. So I tell them all the time, man, just take your time and be patient, man. Whatever you feel like is right for you will be right for you.
I got to ask, still playing football and everything, how much do you think coaching can help from that standpoint? Because you're also seeing it also from a player's eyes, but now you've seen it from a coach's eyes as well. Do you think that helps you on the field?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, man, playing under Jeff Reardon, man, my offensive coordinator when I was in high school, he broke the game down to me and made it very simple to me, and I still use the tactics that he gave me, man, from when I graduated high school, man. And then to be able to, like I said, to be able to go play under and learn under Gus, like he makes the game so slow for me. Like he slows it down to another level to where I can just look at a safety's lineman and know what's about to happen. I can look at a linebacker's lineman and know where he's going. I mean, it's very hard to disguise the defense on me, and I feel like with me coaching and playing at the same time, I feel like it helps on both aspects of the game.
Oh, absolutely. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I got just a couple more questions for you. You have started your coaching career and everything now. I believe I asked you this last summer, but of course you have a whole year of experience now. What kind of are your long-term goals as far as coaching goes? Do you know yet, or are you still just kind of taking it as it goes?
Man, right now I still got my sponge suit on, man. I'm trying to soak in as much knowledge as I can, man. Long term, man, is to be able to sit in that head coach's office or be a long term offensive coordinator for some great head coach one day, man. That's always my goal. But the main goal is, man, is to get kids to understand that it's more to life than just sports. Because everybody has a dream to being on the big stage and playing in the big lights, but what do you do when that dream falls apart?
Right. And to your point, one of the things you talk to a lot of former players or even current players, a lot of the coaches or their favorite coaches they talk about were great coaches, but it was also stuff like that is what they remember them for or why they think of them that highly.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like I said, man, we were blessed to have a great coaching staff, man, when I was in high school, man. Coach Owens came in and things were rocky, and, I mean, it wasn't rocky because he didn't know what he was doing. It was rocky because we weren't bought into the program. And once we did buy into the program, things started getting better. Like I said, when he first came, we went 2-9. Everybody thought, oh man, he's not gonna be the guy for the job. Oh well, next year we go 8-2. Guys started buying into the program. With my senior year, we was like, okay, well, we see what we did when we bought in just a little. Let's put all the pieces together and let's see what we can do. And man, we went on a 14-2 run and won the state championship, man. So it's about how hard you want it, man, how bad you want it, and how much work you're willing to put in, and the trust in those coaches and the trust in the guy that's on side of you, man.
If you were to get the opportunity to coach at the college level, whether it be a position coach or something like that, or would you rather keep it in high school and, like you said, work up, maybe be an offensive coordinator, hopefully get a head coaching job one day, or just whatever the best job available is? Or
I wouldn't mind coaching on the college level. I mean, I know it's a lot more that comes with coaching on the college level as far as, like, getting out and recruiting. And, I mean, just being a high school coach, man, it already takes up a lot of time for your family. So, I mean, if I was to want to become a college coach one day, it'll probably be after my kids are graduated from high school and off to college and being successful with their life. But as far as they're in school, as long as they're in school, I will probably remain a high school coach.
Final question for you, man. There are a lot of kids in the community that look up to you, and have heard all these amazing stories. For any of them watching right now, what advice would you have just you've had a ton of success as a player. What advice would you have for them if anyone's trying to make it to that level as well?
Man, heard this, man, when I got to Auburn, man, and my strength and conditioning coach, first day I walked in the weight room. He told me it's only 3 things in life you can control, man. And that's your attitude. Well, 2 things in life that you can control. And that's your attitude and your effort. So, I mean, if you're giving great attitude giving great effort and you got a great attitude about the things that you're trying to do, I mean, you can be successful in anything. You just have to put in the work and you have to grind. It's not easy. I mean, it's not easy. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat and tell you that, yeah, man, it's a cakewalk in the park. Just show up. No, you have to put in the work. If the work's not put in, the results won't be what you expected. Can I say one more thing?
Absolutely.
Northeast Texas Dragons, we play here Saturday at 3 o'clock at Gerald Print, man. If y'all not doing nothing, come check us out.
Well, I did want to mention, if you don't mind, if we have a few more minutes, I did want to talk to you about the Dragons. I got to cover you last year, and hopefully we'll be covering y'all again this year. ton of fun to watch. I know y'all had a lot of success last year. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about playing for the Dragons?
Yeah, it was. Last year was definitely a fun ride, man. We started the season off kind of rocky, man. Not knowing where we would fit in or how we would fit in, and guys, like I said, guys actually bought into the program. We started playing together, and things started clicking left and right. And offensively, man, we were probably one of the most explosive offenses in this area. Like, we were scoring, averaging 50 points a game. Like, so I mean, I feel like this season will be it'll be another one of those great seasons, man. Where we'll put up a lot of points, defensive shut out a lot of games, and I mean it'll be one of those things where you got to be there to see it.
One of the main games I remember covering y'all at last year, I was there. I believe it was a playoff game, and y'all ended up not even playing the entire game. Y'all got up by like 50 points at the half, and that was it. So what he's saying, I mean, that's how many points y'all are putting up during the game.
Oh yeah, man, it's definitely we sling it around, man. But this year, man, we got some guys on that offensive line that's gonna move some things around, man, for our running backs to be able to find creases and be able to balance the game out, so we're not so heavy on the pass and defense can only play us in one position.
Awesome. Well, I speak for. I've seen them myself. I will be watching them again this year. Like you said, y'all are definitely going to want to come watch them anytime y'all get the chance. Ty, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Oh, man, it's my pleasure, man. Wouldn't have no other way.
Thank y'all so much for joining us here for another episode of the Tyler Lennon Show. Want to say, again, thank you so much to our supporting sponsors who make all of this possible. Y'all stay tuned for the rest of the month. We've got some awesome guests. We've got Kayla Price and Keenan Clayton coming up soon. And we may or may not have Cade returning to the show to talk about his newest album and some shows he's been doing. So I know y'all are going to want to see that. Thank y'all so much. We'll see y'all then.